Hello and welcome back to the InaneBrains podcast. I'm your host, Lance, with my co-host, Jenna. Say what's good, Jenna.
Hey.
Alright, as I
I'm
say
sorry.
in every episode, let's just get into the hard-hitting topics. Give me some of that good stuff. Let's go.
Alright, let's discuss SeaWorld.
Ooh, oh my gosh. I haven't been to SeaWorld.
Okay, first of all, you have been.
Yeah,
correct?
no, but in a terribly long time. I probably have.
Tell me your experience from what you remember.
All I remember is the gift shop because I remember going as a kid, and I also remember touching the stingray. I think that's it.
Strangely enough, sort of the same. The merchandise kind of stuck with you, because do you remember?
Well, how old
you remember the logo?
Yeah, well, of course. Well, let me ask you this before you say something else. But how old were you?
Talk about my stuff. Yeah, I was probably around. It had to be one digit, honestly. It must have been like 6 or something.
As I thought. I think it's because, since we're younger, our things are, we want to go to the gift shop. We want these.
That is the whole reason.
100%. I think that's the reason why we remember these things as they are.
Yeah.
And I think
more specifically, it was sort of like a Barbie, but it wasn't Barbie branded. Mm-hmm. It was like a Barbie,
like a doll,
and it had and it had the dolphins, and she was in the swimsuit.
Well, she was like a mermaid.
That's what I really remember. She wasn't a mermaid. She was just a trainer, and then it had dolphin figures and also the orca. They had the orca stuff. It does, but that's really engraved in my brain, and I remember the show. I remember the show as well. The orca show.
The orca show. I thought you meant like a. Excuse me, I had spaghetti before this. I thought you meant like a television show. I'm like,
spaghetti and spaghetti.
That spaghetti's good, man. My grandmother made it, and it was really nice. I threw some chicken on it too. It was great. But
homemade spaghetti is the best. But
anyway, digress. Continue
to discuss how great spaghetti is. But anyways, my experience was I remember going to SeaWorld and seeing the show. That's like the very first thing that I remember is the show. I remember the way it looks. It has like this huge tank in the middle. There was a stage at the back, and then there was like a big wide screen that would play like music, and then it would show shots of like dolphins and orcas, like the animals they featured in the show. And then when the show starts, the guy starts talking or whatever, and he like lists off some facts about the animals, and then the trainers come out and they do tricks, and that's basically the show. That's basically what it is. Of course. Soothing music, and then like animals doing tricks. And then the gift shop, of course, like before stated. I don't remember the aquariums or stuff like that. Like you said, touching a stingray. I don't remember that.
I've never seen the orca show, so I'm very envious that you did. Like that sounds really dope. But like I said, I think the reason why you have these very fond memories of these two things is the idea of just being like easily amused because you're a kid, and
yeah, exactly.
And then you see these like
it's a theme park.
Exactly.
Come on, that's like it's meant to do that.
Exactly, 100%. But I think it really like hammers in your brain when you're a kid because like you're a kid, you're easily entertained, you want all these things, right? And it's just the idea of like all these flashy things, and oh shit, a giant ass fish is doing a front flip or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's like I remember these things too because I always just thought the stingray just looked sick, and that's why I remember that. So, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like, or what I'm trying to get at is like this the gift shop idea or the gift shop memory. We remember this. I'm saying. Oh my god. Anyway,
I need to slap you.
But,
oh my god, this would be so great if we did this in person.
Which will happen
That'd be
eventually, like, hopefully.
This professional level.
Well, that will happen eventually. But anyway, I think we remember these things because we just want gifts. We want toys. We want shit. We want bullshit when we're kids. We just want shit. I can't even tell you how many fucking times whenever my little sister came over and we just threw up the TV, and you see all of these stupid ass, fucking terrible ass commercials of these little stupid, you know, those bullshit ass like girly collectible whatever the fucks
Oh, like the little Shopkin
Shopkins
things. Those
or
are more recent.
all that shit in that vein, right? Um, I can't even
Hmm.
tell you how many times she was like, "Daddy, Daddy, can I get that?" And my dad's like, "No." Like, it's
I
just the idea. It's just kids.
just like how you said it.
No, oh
You're
yeah,
like,
he'll
fucking no.
go
What the?
like deep like that and just like assert. Um,
Nope.
no, for real, that's my dad. What? What's so funny?
I don't know. It's just the way you said it.
That's how it'll sound. Like he will assert, like, "No, you are not getting that," and
No.
it's like this idea of, geez, I just went deep, and it's like this idea of just kids just wanting stuff and attention and
Yeah.
toys
Well,
and
like now that we're
all
like
this, just some
older
bullshit, man.
or whatever. Now that we're older or whatever, it's easier to see
Oh,
past some things.
100%.
And like
Though,
going back to SeaWorld, SeaWorld is pretty fucked. It's been already confirmed of things, and like SeaWorld's it no longer
please
exists.
educate,
We all know
because
this.
I'm gonna be dead honest. I don't know of these things.
Really?
I guess
Oh my
not.
god. So okay. You didn't hear about the cancellation of SeaWorld.
No. Probably because I've
Okay,
never
so
really
well,
thought of SeaWorld again up until this topic.
in a
Yeah,
long
no,
time.
continue, because I was not made aware, and plus we want to make the listeners
Okay,
aware.
so well, this was happening like a long time because like I always want to point out that like we saw the show when we were really young. This was a while ago. We're old people.
We're old now, these
Not that old, but
fucking
we're old.
kids!
We are
You
fucking old. But
whippersnappers!
anyways, like okay,
Boomers.
so
Anyway.
I saw a documentary. I already knew that SeaWorld has been canceled because it's immoral to keep these animals in the conditions that they were kept in SeaWorld. I saw a documentary explaining a whole lot why, and it got me into it again. Like, oh fuck, well I didn't know it was this bad. It's pretty bad.
Well, come on, elaborate. I want to know of what's happening. We gotta educate.
So SeaWorld has seals and like assortment of things. They have with the big like mammal things, they have seals, dolphins, and the orca
Hmm.
whales. The seals, dolphins, and the orca whales are kept in like the biggest tanks they could afford. But you know what? The biggest tanks are still not like the
Hmm.
ocean. You
Right.
know what I mean? And so they are raised in captivity, and you know they breed them for like other shows around the
Okay.
world, or they did, and they're raised in captivity and stuff. They tend to get like really bored. Like it's like quarantine. You're locked in this space for a long time, and
How
sometimes it leads
relevant?
to
How topical?
yeah, sometimes it actually leads to self mutilation and things like that. So and on occasions like fish suicide basically.
Wow.
They're like so bored and they're so like unhappy, and it's really sad. And there was like this woman who was like taking pictures of the animals in SeaWorld, and then like all she had to do was zoom up to like show like look at the dolphin's snout. It's like all bruised and it's bloody.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like it's really dark, and you don't see it because you're so far away when you watch the show. Also like the dolphins for instance, because like they're not meant their bodies are not meant to like be up
Right, they're
above the
very
water for
intelligent
like all the
creatures. Come
time.
on. Like,
Yeah, they're like their world is supposed to be under the water, but since like their world is on the surface because people feed them and
yeah,
stuff
no,
like
for the
that,
show, right.
yeah, their necks are all like they're basically like
Oh,
broken
wow.
beyond belief. Yeah, because like they keep going above the water. They're not really meant to do that a whole lot, but they do it all their lives, so they're fucked.
Wow. I was not made aware of these things. I kind of have
Yeah,
like a
and then
big, I kind of have
yeah,
like this big disconnect from the world with shit like this.
that also got me thinking about zoos. Zoos get canceled. Like the zoos basically canceled. I have never heard any news from a zoo in so long, but I remember going to a zoo when I was young, like
You and
one
everyone
digit,
else. Like, come
just
on.
same as
Like,
SeaWorld. I know exactly, but I don't think kids that are gonna be born,
yeah.
later are not gonna experience things like SeaWorld and the
Right.
zoo
Yeah.
at all.
Okay. Um,
And like a part of me is like that's kind of sad because like I don't know, you haven't seen a lot of the world's
Mm-hmm.
animals, then that's kind of, you'd have to like go around to
Right.
see them.
Yeah.
But like,
Um.
also it's immoral to keep the animals in such
Yeah.
conditions. To be honest.
I was as a kid, I was really fond of I was the animal kid. I was the animal and dinosaur kid. I was that guy. Way young, way
Yeah.
before like video games were like really clicked to me. Um
Yeah, same thing. I was like, video
so
games?
of course if
No.
I got the opportunity to go to the zoo, you know, I'm all for that shit.
I was like, oh, that's
But, you
fun, dude. We
know,
can get like those big cups with the swirly
exactly,
straws, like the
exactly.
circus.
100%.
Same thing with the circus. The circus is
I've
canceled
only been
too.
to
Think about
a
it.
circus once and I don't have the best memory of it, but we'll talk about that later, so stay tuned. But
Mm-hmm.
with the zoo, I don't now looking back at it, now that you bring up these points, I guess it is kind of fucked
Mm-hmm.
to keep these animals in such captivity. Like that's not what they're designed for. Come on, that's not why
Yeah.
they're
They've
put on this earth
also,
for.
okay,
To
another
cage
thing
them?
with SeaWorld is that like towards like the end of SeaWorld, they were trying to get like more people to come in, you know, and so they were doing more training, but with like the people in the water with the
Hmm.
animals, so many accidents,
Yeah,
bro.
okay,
Like
I did hear
such a
about this though.
bloodbath, especially with the
Yeah,
orca
because them
whales
orc
and shit.
whales, they are predators, so they start, you know.
They have teeth. Oh wait, it was also evident. The lady took also pictures of the orcas, and like you can see their teeth. They like drill down their teeth, and
Wow.
it's really yeah, it's fucked. They drill down their teeth in like the center, so it looks like really fuck. They look like they don't have
They
teeth
look
at
like they got
all. Like some
molars,
of them.
not sharp teeth.
Yeah, it's like, and they can't be released after that because they
They
won't
won't
like last
survive.
a
Yeah.
second. Yeah, exactly. And all they see is like cement and shit, and then like they claim that it's like we don't have the budget to put things like
Yeah.
seaweed and other things like at the bottom of our tanks
This
for
world is
like the
fucked,
big
man.
mammals.
Obviously
Yeah,
I would hope that these people who've made these things had good intentions. But, you know,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because the guy that made the documentary interviewed this other guy, and he like agreed with a lot of the things that the activist woman said, but he also says like it's a lot of people's like jobs
yeah.
on the line, and then the people do have like a special connection with
Right.
the
Yeah.
animals, even though the animals may not have a
Right. Yeah,
connection with
I
them. They like clean them and feed
oh
them and
yes.
stuff, and they
Yes,
care.
100%. I would love to think that the people working there, the people who run the shit, I would love to think that they have good intentions, but it's all about the money, man. You need like
You gotta find some morals. You need
you
the
need to sustain
balance.
yourself. So you
Yeah,
got to do just whatever you can, but you need to sustain yourself, and then you got to sustain your employees. You know that's why they had to drill down those fucking teeth
exactly.
because they don't want no one dying on them. That would give them one a bad rep, and two,
That
you
would.
know, ironically, as there's already been several accidents. Um,
Yeah,
and you know, and two, you need them to feel safe. You know, it's
yeah,
I don't it's fucked. The world is fucked
yeah,
in ways that it's trying not to be. But it's something you got to deal with, and you just got to learn how to, you know, strive to, you know, be better and not, you know, like look at the bigger picture. Really, like them animals are not designed to be caged up. That's not what
yeah.
they're made for.
Is same thing with, okay, so is it just me, or is like, do you remember when you went to the zoo, they had like cups and stuff that were designed to look like the animals, and they had like these big crazy straws and stuff?
Okay, yes,
Does that sound familiar? I remember a lot of like the stuff being pushed on us because like we had to buy
yes.
something because we're walking around the zoo all day. We didn't really, and some people don't like plan on bringing water
Yeah,
and stuff.
but let's think about it another way. You want to know why they're pushing all that shit on you? They're
Yeah.
not making as much money.
Yep. That was probably it cuz like we're not that old, but we are pretty old, and that might have been like towards the end of zoos cuz like lots of like activists, of course. They're everywhere. They people sometimes for stupid things, sometimes for like actual things. But
Hmm.
you know, It makes
Right.
sense if they
Because
need a
they're
lot
gonna
of money.
push all that stuff on
Um,
you because they're not making that much money, and it's probably for the reasons as you're stating here, the fact that they're caged in captivity, and all these people are becoming more aware of these things. They're not gonna come through,
yeah.
and they're not gonna go see because they're like, well, let's
The
fuck.
only thing the only thing that's shaky is like they always say like, we save animals from like poachers and people like that. And that's great. But, there you have to let them go.
Shut up, PS4.
That's
Stop
like
saying
part of
people
it.
are online.
Cuz same thing with SeaWorld. They like save animals, I guess. I'm not exactly sure how in that sense, but I know they save elephants
Hmm.
and stuff, the zoos from like poachers
Which
and
I
people
think is
that
a
want to.
great cause. I support that 100%.
That's amazing, but you got to let them go
Hmm.
at some
Yeah.
point. That's the whole point, to
Yeah.
let them go.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry for interrupting the episode. Hope you're enjoying the episode, by the way. Lance and I probably worked hard on it. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Anchor once again because they're our sponsor once again. So, if you're looking for a place to start a podcast, Anchor is a great place to get started. It's free, the creative tools are very simple and easy to use and understand, of course. You can get it as an app on your phone, or you can go on the computer and use it if you're more of a computer person. And something that I really appreciate that Anchor does is it distributes your podcast to multiple podcast listening platforms. And basically, what that means is I don't have to upload episodes of InaneBrains separately on different platforms because it does it all for me. After you've made your podcast, maybe you want to make some money off of it, and that's totally cool. All you gotta do is record ads like this one, and Anchor even matches you up with sponsorships, so you're all set. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you guys for watching, it really means a lot. I'm sure if I know you in person, I'll tell you that.
I was gonna talk about the circus because you brought that up, and I was let's.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about the
Oh,
circus too, but then I forgot about
well,
it.
there we go. So
Have you ever been
I
to the
have
circus?
very.
Which Circus LA?
I think it was that. I was with
Okay.
my sisters and my cousin and aunt. She had these connections, and she like got us like one of the suites, I guess. So we got this top
Mm.
down view on them, and it was cool. But I don't really remember all of the acts too much. It was been I such a long time ago. But I could see why that they're also getting shut down again. I also kind of wanted to go back to that circus just to remember what it was like, have a different, point of mentality on it,
Yeah.
and you know,
For me, I think the circus is very similar to like SeaWorld and the
I feel like
zoo,
it's
but only
similar but more fucked because
yeah, it does seem more fucked because like origins of the circus, like if you think back to like really old versions of the circus, they would do the things like like you saw Greatest
I
Showman.
actually haven't.
That's not
I
exact.
actually haven't.
Oh, really? Well, for those of you who have, it makes it seem like really nice and whatever, but like it's not that.
Of course,
Like
it's a
he's
movie.
just using he's using the freaks for profit, and that's basically what it is. And it's really fucked. Like some stories are like really upsetting what
I
they
actually
do to people
do
just because
did
they look different.
I
But
actually did
like
see a video. Excuse me, I am very gaseous today. Sorry. I actually did see a video on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, follow us on Instagram.
God no,
InaneBrins. I'm gonna plug.
just like
Stop sending me
genie in the
memes.
bottle.
Anyway, I saw a thing on Instagram, and it was ironically a circus, and it was a bear doing a trick and attacked one of the dudes, and
Oh fuck.
kind of ties everything together with the zoo and all that. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say on top of using people at the very beginning of circus stuff, they then used
I feel like it
animals.
would be vice versa, or not vice versa.
Really?
The other way around. They use animal first, then people. But maybe you're right.
Really?
Maybe you're not.
Because like the circus back then was like, well, how could they actually like get all those animals? That would cost like a ton
I
of money
doubt
for them
that.
back then. It's way easier to
I
get
doubt
freaks.
that. I think it would. You just have to like go like northwest and go to the woods, find a bear, trap the bear.
If you're rich, man, they didn't have airplanes.
I'm just. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just saying like just find. I don't know, some sort of wild animal I'm not saying bears specifically, just find some sort of wild animal and just capture it and make force it to do whatever you want, like they did in
That's fucked.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Ayo,
Hey,
Appa's
wait,
Lost
which
Days.
which
That
one?
mess hurt, dude.
Oh, Appa. Oh no, I
Yes.
remember.
Anyway, before I digress, speaking, if you haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, please, please,
What the hell's wrong with
please,
you? There's a new live
please.
action thing coming out.
Okay, not to derail, but have you heard that the creators are not on board anymore? Mm-hmm.
Really?
So, they were gonna
Oh
make a.
man, that's
For those who don't know, they were gonna make a. Avatar came out in like early 2000s, and
on
actually no,
Nickelodeon.
late
It's a
2000s, late
cartoon.
2000s. I think it came out 2007. And the creators were about to do a live action around this year on Netflix, and they're not on board anymore. And
But why? Did they say
I
why?
think it just like it didn't go as they envisioned, and
Fuck.
so not that confident in it anymore.
Yeah, that's really upsetting. That's a real bummer.
Oh
That
no, 100%.
just why you fucking make me sad,
I'd
dick?
rather not lie to you. I mean, I'd rather tell you all the facts.
I mean,
I
good
don't want you to
point.
get
But,
your fucking hopes up and like, oh shit, the creators are on this shit, and then to realize as soon as that shit comes out, it's like, oh yeah, we ain't on that shit no more.
fuck. Yeah, good point.
Anyway,
But I did see the circus. I saw the circus when I was older, like 10 or something like that. Because I went to the YMCA summer camp. Every Wednesday they had a field trip. And sometimes it would be places like, I don't know, it could have been a SeaWorld if SeaWorld existed. Could have been like SeaWorld or Disneyland or whatever. And I remember once we went to the Staples Center for Circus LA.
I didn't even know they did
And
that at the
it was
Staples Center.
they always had it there. I remember I went to the circus multiple times for summer camp. It was always really cool. They a little cheesy because like they used pop music with it, I guess, to stay with it. But it wasn't like they didn't use animals a whole lot. It was mostly people doing amazing feats. Like there was the motorcycle circle thing and people doing the trapeze.
Mm-hmm.
There was a clown segment that I remember. It wasn't scary, it was just stupid. They had like the only animals that I really remember that stole the show like for the longest was the dogs, and that's fine because dogs aren't wild beasts.
Mm-hmm.
They had two elephants or something like that, and they just walked around for like a short period of time, and then that was it. And I think that's fine, but it's still a little like I don't know what's
Maybe I'm
happening back
tripping.
doors. Honestly, it's just
Maybe
the
I'm
show.
tripping, but I think I remember seeing tigers.
There was tigers. That was a long time ago though, because like I said, I saw the circus multiple times, and I remember like the more recent ones, they had like less and less animals.
I
They also
wonder
had more
why.
more. They also had more and more merchandise as well. They were selling like
I
like the
wonder
peanut guy at
why.
baseball games. Exactly. It all clicks together. It all does. It really
Full
does.
circle. Full circle.
Full circle. Do you want another topic, or do you want to rail off of something else?
Um, I mean, we only got like what 5 more minutes left. I think
Yeah.
we can like still squeeze some more out of this subject.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to be a Twitch? You want to be a Twitch thought?
A what?
Nothing. Never mind. I'm switching it up. The new DC is releasing a lot more cool stuff because of the cancellation of Comic-Con. They got a
Oh
website
yeah.
now where they're
Okay.
posting their
What is
trailers and
that?
stuff.
I've been seeing this around. What are they doing? They're doing like this like convention online. Is that what it is?
Not really. Okay, so like it's not a convention online. It's just okay, so during conventions some like leak some creators leak their like movie
Okay.
trailers and stuff. That their website is where they're leaking their
Okay.
stuff from
All
now
right.
on. Like when the
Okay.
virus is happening. That's where they're
Uh.
leaking their stuff. It's not like a convention. But DC has leaked the new Batman movie with the Twilight Pretty Boy as Batman. And like I don't really mind that much because they hinted at it being a real like mystery puzzle solving thing. And I haven't actually seen that in like a live action Batman movie, considering the Batman is the world's greatest detective, ironically.
Mm-hmm.
They're also doing a new Wonder Woman movie because you got to cash in on that. People love the
Yeah, because
first
Gal
one.
Gadot is fucking hot. Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
Come on.
I remember South Park, a recent one. Well, not that recent, but when Wonder Woman was coming out, the like sixth graders or whatever, they ran off and they're just like, "Come on, let's just see if there's boobs in Wonder Woman or some shit." And it's true. Lots of people were just like, "Dude,
Of course. I
I
think the
gotta know.
reason,
I gotta."
like, I remember watching this thing of like the origin of Wonder Woman, and it was for sex appeal. Actually, ironically, the bracelet she has, I think we're supposed to be like BDSM related.
Oh God, yeah,
Like this was back in like what the fucking 30s,
yeah. This
not
was a
30s,
while
like but like
ago, but
the
like,
60s or whatever, like really long
but
ago.
technically still, because like, well, everyone's just like, name a female superhero, Wonder Woman. Like, she's supposed to be empowering in some
But
sense. And I guess you're right, she is strong as hell. But to me, she still seems as like stereotype in a
how
sense.
so?
I don't
I've
know.
always, and like me and everyone else, I've always seen as her whole shtick.
Okay, well, you've seen her origins in the live action, right? You saw
Yes.
it. I saw the animated one about her origins. It was okay. So live action was basically based off of that animated movie. Wonder Woman titled. It's just Wonder Woman. The title's
Right.
just Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But the basic thing is the guy that I whose name I don't remember, he's like a spy and he's pretending to be a Nazi so he can take them down. And then he crash lands on the island and the island's name is Paradise Island because bitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, cuz bitches. It's just a island full of the women. And even back then they were just like, look how wonderful the society is without all the men. Like what the fuck? Okay. And in the cartoon, he like stumbles upon like the lake, and they're naked. They're playing something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They tie him up. This is very sexual. They tie him
Yeah.
up.
Of course
He
it's
like
sexual.
spits out the truth, like the lasso. It's obvious, but like he spits out the truth, and she follows him. They take down the thingy. That's all I really remember. Oh wait, there was a scene with a little girl where she was like, "The boys won't let me play." What
Oh.
is it? Knights or whatever
Yeah.
because they need someone to
I
save.
don't think they was
And then
playing nice, fam. I don't think they was doing that, little girl. No, I don't know about that one. But yeah, the whole origin of Wonder Woman is a little. I don't want to say darker because when I think of darker, I'm always thinking of like Batman's origin, like that shit. But it's like
he
really
fucking
like not
dies.
not the most
It's just a
family
little over
friendly.
sexualized. Yeah.
So
And I understand like Wonder Woman's supposed to inspire young girls, but do you really want to inspire your
well, that's
young
because
girl to
I
like
they don't know about like the origin. They just know about oh Wonder Woman, she's strong, she
good point. I think they bring this up in an not an episode, something Wonder Woman animated. There was like a guy that was targeting Wonder Woman and saying like, "Do you really want your little girls to grow up looking like this, wearing this minimal clothing with a lasso and things like that?" And I was like, "Whoa, that kind of hit hard. This is a kids show."
yeah no I think it's because the kids don't know about the real origin about it. In which if for one,
Yeah,
if you're like fucking
learn.
12 or younger, I don't know why you're listening to us. And two, if you are like, nah, 12 is actually a little too young. Like, I don't know, fucking 14 or younger. I don't know why you listen to us. If you're 14 and younger, and you want to look up Wonder Woman's origins, don't, just wait till you're a little older, bud. Um,
Yeah. Don't mention the comics. The comics are even worse,
yeah,
man.
that's where I've
So much
based stuff
nudity in
from.
the
I just seen
comics.
videos of the comics, and that's where I've got my
Yeah.
information. That's what I've said. That's where I've got it from.
Do you remember the game Injustice with the DC
Yes,
characters, basically Mortal
yes.
Kombat? They had a comic for Injustice. Superman gets Lois Lane pregnant in that
Okay.
comic. And no, it goes really deep
Oh,
into it, and I was
it
surprised.
gets really detailed.
Yeah, the comics, all the comics tell like a very, very different story. You
Yeah,
know what
of
I'm
course,
talking
because
about.
this
They
is
had
these.
so
I think
much
it's because
stuff.
the
different universes,
nah, I'm
twists,
thinking
like
more of
all
a sense
around.
of like back in the day. I feel like comics were not really supposed to target as they do now. They had a different demographic back in the day. I feel like comics
Good point.
targeted
Yeah.
more adult esque because they had more adult
Just
esque themes.
I'm pretty sure it was like teenagers, but like for the campy stuff, it was like preteen
Hmm.
children.
I'm just saying I
That
feel like
makes sense.
back in the day those older comic books were more targeted to like more adult types
Yeah.
because they had more adult themes, right?
But bruh, like as much as Lance loves Pokemon, I love Batman. I love everything in the
Yeah,
Batman
and that's
universe. I have like a Batman
why do you make it sound
encyclopedia.
like it's a bad thing? I'm not dissing you on it. I mean, I'm not a DC fan. I'm more of a Marvel fan because my favorite character is Hugh Jackman Wolverine. But
And he is pretty cool, I have to admit.
I'm not.
Like
Why do you make
fucking
it sound like such a bad thing?
I know, I'm not either. I think my voice is just tired. I was just saying as it was a fact. Like as much as you love Pokemon,
Yeah.
I love Batman. That's where it is.
Um.
If you like Batman, tell us about. Wait, tell me who your favorite villain is
On
for
our
fuck's sake. Yeah, there's so
Instagram,
many.
the name
Oh
Brains
my god.
InaneBrains.
You can talk about Pokemon with
Wee! I
this
love
sad,
plugs. I
strange
love plugs.
little man.
But thank you everyone for listening. That's our time, and we just hope that you gotta want to rest. What? Mm,
We hope you get
yeah,
arrested.
no, no, don't get arrested as a guy who's about to become 18 in a year and is probably has a very high risk of being arrested because I'm black. But no, anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, whatever time zone you're in. You are. I gotta think of a compliment for you, listeners. I'm 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 like
No,
trying not to say viewers because obviously this is a listening thing. You are
not very much of a viewer
super
thing.
cool and I want to be your friend, okay? All right? Because you're cool, man or woman or other than those two. All right? You're real cool, all right? And I want to kick it with you because you are very interesting. That sounded weird out of my mouth, but
He's not going for time. He's actually
no,
tripping.
I'm
Like
trying to positive note for the listeners.
I know. I'm saying he's really
You
thinking. He's
guys are
not doing this
really
for time.
cool, and thank you for listening.
Okay,
That was
bye.
weird to